What's up, Hockey Talk Show fans? Late breaking, live video, Dion Phaneuf trade. Let's talk about it quickly here. From what I understand right now at this moment, 9:43 p.m. Eastern, he has not been traded. No trade call yet. It is not officially officials. There's still a little bit to be done. What is complicating this, from what I understand, is that Carolina is playing the Kings right now. So that might be part of the problem. As far as the actual trade goes, it looks like it is Phaneuf to the Kings, essentially in exchange for Marian Gaborik. It's a pretty interesting move, and I gotta say, at first I thought, wow, they were able to shed themselves of that awful Dion Phaneuf deal. But when you look at this, really, there's not really all that much salary cap saving here from for the Ottawa Senators. Because they're essentially making the same money when you find out that Ottawa is going to be retaining some salary. So not really a solid move on the part of Pierre Dorion, but at least we have our first official trade of the trade season. It really is the first big deal of 2018. I know Duclair was moved, but still, this is a pretty big deal. I never thought Dion Phaneuf was going to be able to be traded, and here he was. He was traded. So Phaneuf and Thompson for Gaborik and Shore, which is pretty interesting because Thompson is a really solid player. I like Thompson a lot. As you can tell, I'm in my living room. Just finished watching my Islanders lose to the Blue Jackets horrifically. I would expect this to go through as it's now making its way all across the internet. But Phaneuf and Thompson for Gaborik and Shore. But the Senators are going to retain 25% of Phaneuf's salary, so they get $7 million off their books. But Gaborik's making almost $5 million. And if they're retaining 25% of $7 million, you're talking about 1.75, right? So just less than $2 million. So it's almost a straight up deal for deal. And they each have 3 seasons left on their contract. So really not all that great of a move. When you look at it, you're not really saving all that much. I don't know if this is a bigger part of this, if it's easier to buy out Gaborik than it is Phaneuf. I don't know if this is just Phaneuf really started this whole avalanche of garbage for the Senators this season when he refused to lift his no trade, and they just wanted him out. I'm not really quite sure. But what we do know is Phaneuf is gone. He's now going to be a Los Angeles King. Be interesting to see him in the gray and the black and gray for Los Angeles. We'll have more on this, of course, tomorrow, and we'll be covering the ins and outs when this becomes official. So again, no trade call just yet for this deal, but it's pretty much leaked. So Nick Shore and Marian Gaborik to Ottawa, Nate Thompson and Dion Phaneuf to Los Angeles. I'm going to say Los Angeles is winning this deal because Phaneuf is serviceable, and Nate Thompson is maybe one of the best checking fourth-line centers the game has right now. So I'm going to go ahead and give this win early thoughts to the Los Angeles Kings. This is a massive win for Ottawa if they're able to keep that money off the books. But because they're retaining 25%, it's essentially a dollar-for-dollar deal when you look at it, which is bad because both of those are bad contracts. I think we're going to see a lot of this. There's going to be a lot of bad contract movement over the next couple of seasons because there's a lot of guys that were signed, 4 or 5 years ago to 7-8 year deals that were just bad. That were just bad deals that had to be made at the time. Chris, good comment. Kings don't need D. Their D is already great. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is part of another move. I'm not really sure. I'm a little. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little thrown off by it, I guess. Dowdy, Forbert, Muzzin. Nah, I mean, they could use it, I guess. Christian Folan, Ledoux and Folan, these are young kids. Forbert's a little young too. I could see them getting Phaneuf in there. You have Drew Doughty eating up so many minutes anyway, it doesn't really matter. Danny, you wish and you shall receive. Decent trade. It is a decent trade. It's a fun trade to talk about. I'm going to really dive into this, but I got to get some sleep because I do morning drive radio. So it's 10 to 10, and that's going to wrap the night up for me. But I'm going to really dive into this. We'll have a full analysis on the next show that we do. So make sure you guys keep it here at the Hockey Talk Show and hockeytalkshow.com. Thanks so much for chiming in.